2, 3, 4.
Run up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about a very bad car design your car might have and you don't even know about. A timing chain driven water pump. Now water pumps are pretty simple devices. They pump water. They pump water that's in the engine and they pump it through the radiator so it can dissipate heat and then it goes back in the engine. It's just a cycle of pumping it through, taking heat from the engine, dissipating it in the radiator, going back to the engine. Pretty simple, right? And they used to be built simple, easy to replace. Take my 94 Celica. Okay, here's the water pump right here. It's got a couple of belts on it. You take the belts off, you unbolt this, away you go. It's all by itself. Has nothing to do with the timing belt inside here at all. It's a simple, reliable design. I could change that one out in about half an hour. Nothing job. If it goes bad, no big deal. You see it's outside. If it breaks, it would just fall off. You'd want to change it before then. But in and of itself, it won't do any damage if the stupid thing breaks. And even on this relatively modern Toyota Matrix, where's the water pump? It's right here, front of the engine. Same thing. You take the belt off, take some bolts off goes the water pump. Now, this engine has a timing chain inside it. The Celica had a belt, this is a timing chain, but the water pump's independent of it, so you don't care. But of course, in the engineer's dream of making cars cheaper to build and more complex, a lot of vehicles started to have timing belts that ran the water pump, like in this Lexus. Now in this V6 design, it is a timing belt, and the water pump is inside here with the belt. It runs off of the timing belt. It's cheaper to make them that way. So the timing belt runs to the water pump. Rubber timing belt spins around, spins to the water pump. This setup is still external to the engine and engine oil. So if the pump breaks, the belt would break, the car wouldn't run anymore, but this is a non-interference engine, so it doesn't damage the engine, and if the water pump breaks, the coolant will leak out, but the coolant will just leak on the ground. It won't get inside the engine and mix with the engine oil, but then the engineers went a little hog wild. One of the first users of timing chain driven water pumps was Nissan. Is inside the engine oil run by the timing chain. The chain has to be lubricated with oil, so that's sealed and it uses the engine oil. So on that design engine, if the water pump breaks, water mixes with the engine oil. Comes off, the water's got to go somewhere. On the older design, it just leaks externally, gets on the ground, doesn't hurt the engine. But if you get coolant mixed in with your engine oil, that can quickly destroy your engine. It's a very expensive job to replace a timing chain driven water pump because you got to take the front of the engine apart. A lot of times you got to change the timing chain itself and the pump. It can easily go from $1,000 to $3,000 depending on the design of your car. In fact, you can change the water pump yourself on my Celica or that Matrix. If you're a good mechanic, you do it less than an hour. The parts might cost you $60, $70. But on these timing chain driven water pump systems, whew, since it costs so much, a lot of people don't do preventive maintenance. The water pump starts to go out, they don't change it, and if it breaks, whoop, can be catastrophic engine destruction. So you might well ask, why do they build them like that? Well, because of course it's cheaper to make them that way. Here are some engines that have that design that I would warn you about. The Nissan VQ series V6 engines that are in 2001 to present day Nissans and Infinitis. The first time I ever worked on one of these was in a Z car, and I was like, man, what kind of an idiot designed this car? It's such an expense to change the water pump. Now, in any vehicle, a water pump is a part that's going to wear out. It spins, and eventually either the bearing that it spins on wears out, or it has rubber seals to keep the coolant from getting out, and eventually the rubber seals wear out, then the coolant leaks through, and the pump's shot. So eventually these things are going to wear out. If you got that design, it's going to cost you a fortune, and if you don't fix it, it can destroy your engine because water and oil, they get mixed up in your engine, destroy the bearings, your whole engine will be toast. Now the next vehicle with these ridiculous timing chain built water pumps are the Subarus. Almost every Subaru 6-cylinder boxer engine since 2000 has a timing chain in it that runs a water pump, and it's the same thing as the Nissans. If that water pump breaks, get water in your oil, goodbye engine. And I've warned people in the past not to buy the Subaru 6-cylinder engine anyway because of the problems they have with noise, wearing out, blowing head gaskets, hydraulic lifter wear. This is another reason not to buy them. That water pump goes out, costs a fortune to change them. You don't fix it when it's rattling. Goodbye engine if it breaks off and throws coolant. Say you're going 60 miles an hour down a highway. Well, if the water pump breaks, of course, then the timing chain will fly off too, and then the pistons will hit the valves because it's an interference engine. Then it's destroyed no matter. Because if the water pump breaks and the timing chain doesn't work and you have an interference engine where the valves hit the pistons, you're going highway speed. Goodbye engine. It's going to smash the valves, crack the head, do all kinds of damage. Not just water damage. In that case, if it broke and a timing chain came off, goodbye engine, and mainly goodbye car too. But perhaps the biggest problem of these chain-driven water pumps occurs in the Ford Duratec series, the 3.5 and the 3.7 liter V6 engines that they use in tons of their vehicles. There was a class action suit against Ford for this, but recently a federal judge threw it out and didn't allow anybody to get compensation. Well, now there's a shocker for you. A federal judge siding with corporations. I mean, who didn't see that one coming? Well, they can judge this all they want, but the real judgment is it's a bad design. Should have never built them like that, but they don't care. They're still building them that way. And of course, you'll find some of these problems with the Mazdas because some of the Mazdas use the Ford 3.7 liter engine, so it's just the Ford engine and the Ford design. Now, some of them are built in Hiroshima, Japan, but they're the Ford design. They got the same flaw. So if you own one of these cars, it'd be a good idea to pay attention to the old water pump. You start to hear noise. You start losing a little coolant. You want to check that thing pronto. Because being chain driven, a lot of these vehicles, the chains are tensioned by a hydraulic tensioner. A lot of times those tensioners start to go bad, you'll hear the chain rattling. Well, guess what? If the chain is rattling, it's vibrating. Guess what that'll do? The vibrating chain is what operates the water pump. It'll vibrate it, and I've seen the water pumps break because of that. You hear noises under one of those engines? You fix it sooner than later. Don't wait. And of course, you want to prevent it from going bad. Make sure you have clean coolant. Follow whatever your coolant says. If it says to change it every 5 years, change it every 5 years. This particular one says guaranteed 5 years, 150,000 miles. So if you have one of these timing chain-driven water pump vehicles, change your coolant frequently. Every 5 years in most cases. You can check to see what you have, but 5 years is a pretty safe thing. They last a lot longer than 5 years. So if you change it every 5 years, you're not going to have any problems with it getting corroded. It gets corroded. Guess what? It can ruin the seals on the pump. Then water gets in on the bearings of the pump, and the pump goes, and your engine goes. If it breaks off while you're driving it on one of those. And also change your engine oil and filter frequently too. That's what keeps the chain and the hydraulic tensioner that's chain operated working correctly. If they don't work right and they start flopping around, that's going to wear the pump out too. It's not like the olden days. Like in my Celica, where you can see the water pump right here. And you can replace it very easily. It's a very expensive thing. You don't want it to go bad. Now me, I'm a cheapskate. So I'd never buy a vehicle like that in the first place. If I was thinking about getting a car and I saw, gee, it's got a chain-driven water pump inside the engine oil, I wouldn't buy the car. Because I keep my cars 15, 20, 30 years, 300,000 miles. I don't want to deal with crap like that. If a company invests all this money on research and development to have this chain-driven engine with a chain-driven water pump, it's going to take a lot to move them away from that design because it would cost them too much to switch it back. So you see, like I say, the Subarus, 2001 to present, the flat sixes are like that. They're not going to be changing it because you don't like it. They don't care. They're making them cheaper, and they're making them so they get better gas mileage, past the EPA stuff. They don't care about the longevity in the long run. They actually want the cars to break down when they get a little bit older, so you buy another one. But at least now, prepare for the inevitable if you own one of those vehicles, or if you don't own one, take Scotty's advice. Don't buy one. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.